The U.S. Department of Justice and the U.S. Congress must now intervene in investigating Scientologists' many secular abuses and crimes such as tax fraud, various forms of financial fraud, and fraud upon the nation's court system, corruption such as blackmail, bribery, and extortion, human trafficking, immigration fraud, including the confiscation of passports, public election violations, including preventing certain citizens from voting, labor laws and minimum wage violations, human rights violations such as staff being forced to have abortions, civil rights violations such as the disconnection policy which destroys families, human rights violations such as imprisonment, often for many years in its gulags, euphemistically called the rehabilitation called the Rehabilitation Project Force Unlawful Medical Practice and Neglect, Unlawful Mental Health Practice and Neglect, as well as numerous other abuses and crimes. In 2008, the British author Andrew, the last criminal organization to flourish under government in the courts was the Mafia during J. Edgar Hoover's reign at the FBI. Now, as a result of George H. Bush administration decisions to ignore the U.S. Supreme Court ruling in Hernandez, the Scientology enterprise has had even more millions of now tax-exempt dollars to continue engaging in unrestrained lawlessness under the Clinton and the second Bush Justice Department. How does Scientology do this? The Church of Scientology does it through institutionalized and organized bribery, blackmail, perjury, lies, and fraud. It uses criminal infiltration, burglary, false claims of religiosity, fraudulent copyrights, false front, organizations, intimidations, and terror. Terrorism can take many forms. It isn't always violent and spectacular. In these matters, our government and courts have failed us. Scientology has falsely claimed to be the world's fastest growing religion. In reality, it has shrunk to less than 30,000 active staff and members worldwide. Falsely infiltrated membership claims are part of a complex Scientology fraud. The Scientology fraud starts with the deceitful claim that it is simply a misunderstood, peaceful, ethnical religion. However, Scientology well documented criminal conduct discriminated that its religious cloak is merely a public relationship facade and fraud, along with its many other false front, commercial tentacles, and recruiting routes such as WISE, Narcon, Noconon, and applied scholastics. Scientology totalitarianism structure operates on a need-to-know basis only with permits possible deniability. Most of Scientology public members and most of its staffers are also among the victims. Scientology leaders, his senior management team, and several of the Scientology lawyers and private investigators, past and present, bear the ultimate criminal and civil responsibility. In fact, two of the most capable former senior Scientology executives, the U.S. Congress has the power to investigate the secular crimes, civil and human rights abuse alleged of the Church of Scientology. The Congress has the power to investigate the allegations, litigations, and evidence of corruption of the legal system and of the executive branch of the United States government by the Scientology enterprise, the latter constitutional use of the Departments of State and Treasury to advance the expansion of Scientology abroad and to perpetrate the unlawful Scientology corruption of the United States Internal Revenue Service within the United States. The U.S. Congress also has the power to investigate all of the business and other money making activities of Scientology as part of its legislative power. After all, the Church of Scientology is now a tax exempt organization in the United States based upon the premise that it is organized for the public benefit.